Hello and welcome to Man's Model Moments. Some time ago I made a video on the build of the Airfix F-35B Starter Kit, at the end of which I said that it was such a simple kit that I thought I could build and paint it within 1 hour, like the prior 1 hour challenges, but using just what you get in the box like a regular starter challenge. That brings us to today, and me putting my money where my mouth is and presenting to you the 1 hour starter set challenge. Unlike the prior challenges, I'm going to raise the bar a little and start the 1 hour from opening the box. So with 1 hour on the clock, I'm opening the box and getting everything out. The first thing is to get everything free of packaging and to get the main parts ready, because I want to be able to glue the fuselage up as soon as possible, since I'm conscious that paint drying time will be a thing today. Next is to get the instructions ready and get the lower nose onto the rear fuselage. Here I can use the cement directly from the tube since it's not a delicate job. The internal bulkheads are next, which again I can glue directly since the joins won't be seen. The same goes for the rear bulkhead with the exhaust, and there's time for a quick test fitting. I need a bit more finesse for the next cementing job, so I use a piece of spare sprue and use that to apply the cement to the fuselage. Now I do spend a full 3.5 minutes making sure the cement application is right here, as this is a pretty critical step. Some firm pressing after mating the halves, plus some judicious spot application of cement gives us a solid join. I take a quick break from the build here to make a more precise applicator from sprue, whilst also checking the join on the fuselage, adding a little more cement where needed. The ejection seat is next, trimmed and cemented in place. Next are the two vertical stabilizers, which go in place with just over a quarter of my time gone. The next couple of minutes I spend freeing and cleaning the exhaust and its connecting section, though I initially forgot about that and tried to cement the exhaust directly to the airframe. Less haste, more speed, Alex. Our next task was to close up all the various bays and exhausts, with the various doors supplied to get my airframe in airworthy condition. I'm using the glue applicator I made from spare sprue for most of this to keep things clean. The main fuselage has dried enough now for me to give it a quick clean up at the seams, and I can get the stand cleaned up and glued, since that's going to be important for painting. quick check of the instructions on which paint I need, then a small addition of water and mixing to give a decent consistency for painting. I then go ahead and give the cockpit an all-over coat, which takes me through to the halfway point. Still, I've now moved on to dilute and apply the paint for the main airframe. Neither of the brushes Airfix provide here are ideal for this task, and I agree with Moss that the inclusion of one detail and one broad brush in these sets would be better. Still, I'm managing to cover the underside of the aircraft pretty well, and the shape of the F-35 allows for complete coverage before using the stand to hold the model for the upper surface painting. The stand is actually really useful for the painting step, since a round attachment hole you can just turn the aircraft on the stand to paint the areas you want very easily. Getting to the front of the aircraft, I need to give the cockpit a second coat of the lighter grey before moving on. I can then go back with the dark grey and carefully paint the front, avoiding the cockpit. The rear surfaces are also dry enough at this point for me to stabilise things by holding the edges. Black is the next colour to come out for the painting of the ejection seat. With that done, it's onto the gunmetal for the exhaust painting, and I'm into the last 15 minutes. As I was doing pretty well with time here, I decided to paint the inside of the exhaust white for the ceramic liner. I then added a little more water to the darker grey and put another coat on the upper surfaces of the aircraft to smooth them out. I was only aiming to build and paint, not decal, the aircraft in an hour, and I wanted a decent finish. Another coat of white for the inside of the exhaust, and then I moved to detail painting the canopy. I painted the mid-frame, which is internal on the actual aircraft, in black, and the rest fuselage grey. I still had the instrument panel decal to go, but as I had 5 minutes left at this point, I also decided to at least start the other decals too. I got a little distracted putting the air intake warning decals on, but almost forgot the aircraft didn't have the canopy on, and started to move on to the roundels. Fortunately, I realised at the 11th hour I managed to get the canopy on just as the hour came up. So there it is, the Airfix F-35B Starter Set, built and painted in just 1 hour, using only the materials provided in the box. I don't think the finish is too bad considering the time constraints and the brush I was forced to use. There's not really any visible brush strokes, and any shade streaking is in the direction of the airflow, which isn't a bad thing. For a silly challenge, I had fun and the model wasn't utter garbage at the end, so I'm counting this as a win. Now if you'd like to tackle an F-35 yourself, you can take up the first of my model challenges and earn one of these snazzy patches. There are only 100 of them and the first have already gone out, so get building. To receive one, all you need to do is build an F-35, any manufacturer, any scale and any variant. Have a look at my video comparing all the 1/72nd scale kit if you're unsure which one to build. Take pictures both before building along with your finished model and send them to me via the channel email, shown in the About section, together with your contact information and address. I do ask for a contribution to postage depending on where you are in the world, unless you're a Patreon or channel member, where this is free. Speaking of channel members, this is a good time to mention all those wonderful people who contribute to make these videos possible. Thank you so much for your support. That's all for this instalment of Man's Model Moments. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more like it, and share this video with others you think would also enjoy it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and if you're feeling generous then I also have a Patreon, which is absolutely the best way of helping me to grow the channel and produce more content like this. With that, I hope you have plenty of modelling moments of your own, and I look forward to welcoming you on the next video.